Imagine being told that your child has a severe pulmonary condition and might die. It's a parent's worst nightmare.
Nate Gornstein was a child who came in with severe asthma, who one night went into respiratory failure.
Nate was brought into the emergency room in a state of severe distress. He was placed on a ventilator and despite that had difficulty maintaining normal levels of oxygen in his blood.
Throughout the first night, the amount of care he needed just escalated and escalated, and his life was really at stake.
The next, I would say, 12 to 24 hours had an extremely rocky course.
We then put Nate on a special ventilator, something called a high-frequency oscillating ventilator, and over the course of the next several days, Nate improved, and about a week and a half later, he was removed from the ventilator altogether.
We have an unbelievable community here. The day he got extubated, one of our nurses at the hospital is a religious individual, and they pulled her out of the OR and they said, look, Saracen's getting extubated, we need a prayer circle. And that's my community.
He did phenomenally well. It comes down to phenomenal doctors, phenomenal nurses, phenomenal respiratory therapists.
I wouldn't take him anywhere else.
The Shore-LIJ health system is the biggest player in the region. We're the largest health system in New York. But I think that what defines us more and more is our commitment to quality, our commitment to the community, our commitment to be constantly transformative, figuring out how to get out front.
We have traveled a very long ways in a very short time. We see that drive to come here from all over New York City, all 5 boroughs.
When this emergency room expansion was proposed, we were just naturally drawn to it. Just being able to see, how you've been able to help people.
Southside delivers a very important function here. I was raised in Bay Shore, and one of my sisters was born there at Southside. The hospital was struggling in many ways. The emergency room in Southside is a very busy place, and we see the need for enlarging it, and we think that it's going to be a great thing for the community.
Each year, young ladies at Southside Hospital apply for a nursing scholarship, and one candidate is chosen to look in that person's eyes and say, you can make a difference for this person who might not otherwise be able to continue her education. It is the most rewarding thing that we do.
Each year, the health system spends over $650 million on community benefits, serving over 1.5 million people in over 4,000 programs.
When I walked into Long Island Jewish 9 years ago, I didn't know what my life was going to give to me. I was 21 when they found a cyst on my ovary. I saw Dr. Contreras the next day.
Cheryl was diagnosed with a very rare ovarian cancer. When you get to the end of the book and the chapter isn't there as to what to do next, you've got to write your own chapter, and that's where we were. I ended up recommending that we go back to the operating room and removing her ovarian tube.
They weren't even sure if I'd be able to have children with just one ovary. It was really scary.
I've seen Cheryl now graduate from college, go on and get married. I said, okay, it's time. You want to go have kids, go ahead. So we all kind of bit our nails. And I've watched her have 2 wonderful children and go on to have a great life.
Everything at the Katz Women's Center was there for me. My GYN, my oncologist, never had to go to different places. I knew I was strong enough to fight this. I had full confidence in Dr. Contreras and in Long Island Jewish. She was a wonderful, wonderful doctor.
Women's health is unique because each woman is unique. One of the goals of the Katz Institute for Women's Health is to really provide a comprehensive and integrated approach to the care of women.
Having the Katz Institute for Women's Health takes us one step further in providing health access for all.
We really know that healthcare is a team sport.
I'm so blessed that I work in a place that understands how important it is to take care of women.
I got diagnosed in September. They had told me I had an aneurysm in my head. And then my doctor, he recommended me to go see Dr. Shore-LIJ and Dr. Seth.
Rich had an aneurysm that was found by accident, and we basically did a preemptive strike and defused the bomb, and that's exactly what we did successfully.
They were great. I mean, I owe it to both doctors because they were so professional when it came to my care and observations, and everything was point on point, and I'm alive and well.
I think what inspires my work the most is having a patient saying thank you for saving my life. It's an amazing thing to touch a life like that.
Dr. Shore-LIJ and I sat down and he had this vision. He wants to have the best facility. I said, you know what, how do you give back? And I thought the only way I would do it would be, raise money. It not only helps the hospital, it helps the whole county, it helps the community, it helps everybody.
All of these hospitals in the health system was built around needs of the local community. And so what we have to continue to do on an ongoing basis to provide services to everybody in the community irrespective of need, provide services that others don't provide. So we do the clinical care, we do the research, we have it all.
I was truly the luckiest person in the world to meet Peter and to have had 30 years of marriage with him. He was a great dad, a terrific husband, a wonderful friend to many. Unfortunately, in 2000, he found out that he had chronic lymphocytic leukemia. And it was very devastating to find out, but he also decided that he was going to give it his best shot and find the most talented physicians that he could possibly work with to try to find a cure for CLL.
Peter Karches saw the collaboration between Dr. Shore-LIJ and myself, and he sat us down and said, okay, let's have a program of how you can handle CLL.
And the more he learned, how common it is, he just said we just have to be able to do something about it.
Because CLL is very common in the population, it's important to have a research team that involves physicians that see patients as well as people who work at the laboratory. The Feinstein Institute is built on the belief that in order to do good medical research, you should do it in the setting of a lot of patients.
Unfortunately, Peter lost his battle against this disease, but his wife, Susan, immediately jumped in and continued her support and maintained her commitment.
It's really about getting the work done. With the talented people that we have working through this institute, they will find a cure. They really feel that they're getting close, and if anyone can do it, they can do it.
Many people don't understand that the health system is an incredible educational institution.
We created the Center for Learning and Innovation. It's the equivalent of a large university within our health system. The whole focus of it is to create a continuing culture of learning. That led us to develop one of the largest simulation centers in the United States. And so the only thing that prevents you from doing things at the simulation center is your imagination. And of course, we're huge in the medical education arena. The recent opening of the medical school is another example of this.
Our first students won't practice until 2020 independently. So we had to envision what would medicine be like then. And that was a golden opportunity to make the curriculum in sync with future medical practice, not past. At the beginning of medical school, the students ride our ambulances, and they actually learned to become EMTs and took the New York State licensing exam. So they're really licensed practitioners from the second month of medical school.
My name is Jamie Mazzi, and this is my father, Michael.
Jamie is my son and my friend. I had kidney problems for a good 5-6 years.
The first thing you think about is, okay, what do we do for him to have a new kidney? Quickly we found out that the list is anywhere between 5 and 7 years.
I was told that Michael needed a transplant and that Jamie wanted to donate. I drove over to their place and I told him, I would like to meet with you. Let's make sure that all your questions are answered and that you're happy with what you're about to decide.
Once he talked to us, he made us feel so comfortable. The hospital was unbelievable. The North Shore Hospital was unbelievable. The service and the care.
We are the nearest transplant center in New York. We've been able to have results to rival the best transplant centers nationwide and worldwide. Michael is doing great. He's back at work.
This was some gift from God, boy. I couldn't ask for anything more.
I've been involved with the health system for about 40 years, and it's something that I've seen grow from one hospital to something that has parallels of excellence to the greatest health systems in the United States.
We're neighbors in this community, and there should be a partnership between those of us who work in these buildings and our neighbors in the community.
Destination 2020 is our mission to continue this journey that has been so successful for the North Shore-LIJ health system.
The next 10 years in medicine are going to be years of great change. So it is essential that we have strong executive leadership and a strong board to guide us through on the highest level.
Funding is very difficult for research in today's climate.
We need people to help us to be as great as we can be.
How do you give back to the people, who have saved your son?
We need to make sure we have the resources that provides for our specialized equipment.
We can't do any of this stuff without philanthropists. They are healthcare providers just as much as I am.
Without philanthropy, we would not have an Institute for Women's Health.
It makes one feel really very happy to see to it that everybody in the community gets the same attention and the same care. Being able to do something for the community at large that is so impactful to the people who live here. There's nothing better that you can do with your effort, your time.
There's so much to this for our family, for our children and our grandchildren that we intend to give and give and give.
We want the whole country to know that if you have an illness, this is the place that you need to go to.
You want to have the best care, and North Shore offers that, and the reason why they're able to offer that is because people give back.
We've had a great journey thus far for the North Shore-LIJ health system, but we've only just begun.
At the end of the day, it comes down to how you deal with the care provided to an individual. That's at the end of the day, the legacy that we will leave anyway.